Just the tips, well, just for you. Guitar tips. Hello and welcome to Guitar Tips. Welcome. My name is Adam Levy. This is my weekly video blog channel. I post a new tip here each and every Friday. Rain, shine, or El Nino. Guitar Tips doesn't care. We're here for you every Friday, just for you. This week's guitar tip is brought to you by Martin guitar strings. Those are the strings I use on this here guitar. They make a variety of different types of strings. The strings that I like are called retro, and not just because I like retro things, but because I like the sound and the feel. If you look at them, you'll see they are a nickel alloy, not the type of bronze or phosphor bronze that you're likely to see on most steel string acoustic guitars. But I like them. They're a little bit mellow, but they're not shy. I'll say that. So thank you, Martin Guitar Strings. Okay, so let's get into the tip this week. This week's guitar tip is: the blues has a form. The blues has a form. Now, if you've played some blues, you may be thinking, yeah, of course the blues has a form. Everybody knows that. It's usually a 12-bar form. You use the 1 chord for a while, and then you go to the 4 chord for 2 bars, and then back to 1, and then 5, 4, 1, and there you go. There's your blues form, 12 bars. Everybody knows that. So that is true. And if you don't know that, get to know that. It's really important if you're going to play the blues to understand just that form of it. That's the overall structure. Not always, but very, very commonly, blues is played as a 12-bar form that just loops around. I would recommend, as I have in previous tips, that you get to know it in all the open key positions, or all the open position keys. Maybe that's a better way to think of it. So learn to play a 12-bar blues in E. Learn to play it in A. Those are the chords you'll need in A. A7, D7, E7, A7. Learn to play it in D or D7. Learn to play it in G and C. So caged, you might remember from a previous tip. C, A, G, E, D. Those are the 5 open position keys. If you can play a blues in all 5 of those keys, you are well on your way to becoming a very fluent blues accompanist. But the chordal thing, the chord structure and accompanying, that's not really what this tip is about. So this tip is about soloing and improvising and using a part of the blues form that I think a lot of people overlook. And that's that within the 12-bar structure, when we look at blues lyrics, blues poetry, it's very, very common that the first line of each verse is repeated. The second line of the verse is identical or nearly identical to the first verse. So there's a B.B. King blues called 3 O'Clock Blues, and I'm going to paraphrase it here because I'm just doing this from memory, but it's something like, well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't even close my eyes. And then he says again, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I can't even close my eyes because my baby's gone and I just can't be satisfied. Something like that. So the structure there, I would call that an AAB structure, meaning that the first line and the second line are more or less identical. They could be exactly identical, but usually blues singers like to have a little fun with the phrasing and change something here or there. So it's A and a slight variation on A. And then the B is something else. It could be sort of a punchline. It could be something that makes the other two lines have a little more, I don't know, clarity or humor or sorrow or whatever. So that's the form. That's what I'm talking about when I say the blues has a form. The form is AAB. So when you're taking a solo, instead of thinking about how to fill that whole 12 bars up with just this one long linear statement, think of it as an opportunity to play a little melodic idea, and then play a variation on your melodic idea, and then play something a little bit different. And then you could repeat that whole cycle as many times as you like. So if you have this kind of blues in your head, that kind of tempo, I'm going to just think of a little theme. 2, 3, 4. And then I can repeat it. Slight variation, but you can hear that it's related. Now something different. Now I'll try something totally different. Again, thinking about an AAB form. 2, 3, 4. And I'll repeat that. Now something different. My ear wants to go to have the same thing again. So there I did AAA, but that's just my ear led me there. I'm not going to fight my ear. Let's try, a kind of example that you might want to check out if you haven't already is there's a great guitar solo played by Billy Butler on a track from the mid-50s called Honky Tonk Part 1 that was recorded by the Bill Doggett Combo. And his guitar, Billy Butler's guitar solo, he plays 3 times through a blues in F, and he uses that AAB structure throughout his solo. So I'm going to play the first 12 bars, and it's a blues in F, and his solo goes like this. 2, 3. Now we're going to go to the 4 chord. Back to the 1. Now, so that's AA, and then the B is. Something like that. That's a really cool structure. You could use that, and it doesn't just have to be in a kind of a slow blues like we're playing it. It could be, a different kind of chord progression. Anytime you have a 12-bar blues progression, major, minor, fast, slow, simple chords, reharmonized, whatever, you have this opportunity to play the AAB thing, and it's a really effective tool for improvisation because it gives you a structure. You don't have to make up a structure on the spot. You're using the structure that's already built in but often ignored. It's also encourages you to really listen to what you're playing, because if you're going to repeat your idea, you're going to have to listen to it and really pay attention so that you can remember 4 bars later what you played and be able to play it again. So I think the kind of sort of bonus thing here that goes on is this is an exercise in getting you or me or whoever's going to practice it to really listen to yourself, listen to what you're playing, and take stock of what it is you're doing, and that's never a bad thing to do. So that's this week's tip. The blues has a form. The blues has a form. If you're not already a subscriber, please click that red button down below. It's very easy to do, and I hope that you will. Thanks again to Martin Guitar Strings, and thank you. For guitar tips, I am Adam Levy. Stay tuned and take good care.